A very common problem that people tend to come across when first learning about musical notes is that they think, well, I know about notes, I know their formula, I know how they work, but when it comes to actually using them in a piece of music, they get pretty confused about what kind of harmony and chord progression they should use with it, which is why that today I'm going to share a trick with you that will instantly help you remember the main characteristic chords of each of the 7 musical notes. So let's get right into it. So a while back I made a video where I explained the formula for understanding each of the notes. So if you know nothing about them, you can go watch that video first and then come back to this one. But to give you a quick summary, the 7 notes are basically the notes of a major scale, but starting on the notes different than the actual tonic. So for example, taking the notes of the C major scale, if you go from F to F, instead of going C to C, then you'll end up with the F Lydian note. So based on this, we can also say that a Lydian note is basically a major scale with a raised 4th degree. Now the raised 4th in this case is the characteristic note of the Lydian note. Now each mode has at least one of these characteristic tones, which distinguishes it from its major or minor counterpart. Now when it comes to harmony and chord progressions, things are pretty simple. The essential characteristic chord of each mode is first and foremost the tonic, and every chord that contains the characteristic tone of that mode. And how we treat those chords within each mode is pretty similar to how we use chords 1, 5, and 4 in the context of a major or minor scale. So going back and forth between the tonic and those essential chords and emphasizing the relationship between them will help you to establish the sound and atmosphere of that mode. Alright, now I'm going to go over each mode and identify the characteristic chords of each one. Notice that there is always a diminished chord, and the diminished chord doesn't really count as a characteristic chord because of its instability. Okay, starting with Dorian, we can see that the Dorian mode is basically a minor scale with a raised 6th. Now the chords that contain that raised 6th are chords 2, 4, and 6. But as I said, chord 6 is a diminished chord, so we don't consider it as a characteristic chord in the Dorian scale. Next, we have the Phrygian mode, which is a minor scale with a flattened second. Here, the characteristic chords are chords 2 and 7. Looking at Lydian, as we established before, it's a major scale with a raised 4th. And the chords that contain that raised 4th are chords 2 and 7, which alongside chord 1 will create the best Lydian atmosphere. The Mixolydian mode is a major scale with a flattened 7th. So the essential chords alongside chord 1 are chords 5 and 7. Finally, we have Locrian. The characteristic notes are chords 2, 3, 5, and 7. But due to the fact that chord 1 here is actually a diminished chord, it's almost impossible to establish a convincing Locrian chord progression, which is why it is so rarely used. Alright, so we went over each mode and identified the essential characteristic chords of each one. So hopefully, Knowing this, you will have little trouble composing or improvising in each of them. As always, thank you so much for watching, and for any questions or suggestions, feel free to leave a comment in the comment section down below, and make sure to like and subscribe because it helps me out, and with that, I will see you in the next one.